Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a bit of a recycle reuse project for you to do. I'm using little takeout containers here and I want to use the actual lid on them. Now I bought a pack of takeout containers that were very inexpensive and but if you have some lying around that you've bought food in, you could certainly use them as well. Now they do have a little bump in the middle, but that makes no difference to the outcome of what I'm going to do with these. Now, um, I'm going to actually um, put a picture on or a sort of collage the inside of this little takeout lid. And here I'm just cutting a little piece of ephemera, just a little plant that I found in my scrap bucket. um, I'm doing a voiceover because I had to go to the denture clinic today and have both my top and bottom dentures all realigned, and that I had to wait for my gums to all settle and all that sort of stuff before I could do this. So it's been a long time coming, and so when I was doing this on camera, I didn't have any teeth in. So I thought, well, there's no point in trying to mumble my way through a video. I'll just I'll just do a talk over um over the top of it when I finished filming. So I'm just cutting out just fussy cutting a little picture here. It can be any picture that you want, and you're just going to do some what do you call it, that just layering on layering, not so much collage, but I think back in the day they used to call it decoupage, didn't they? Where you'd glue pictures onto things, and yeah, I think that's what it was called, decoupage. And like a little cluster, I guess. But I'm putting the cluster on the back of this lid. And I've got my lid here. I've got a paintbrush. I think I chose some. Looks like bronze. It looks like bronze because I'm looking back at my film at the moment, what I've already taken. And I've just got a little brush and I'm going to just edge around the edge of this lid. Just really, it doesn't have to be neat at all. I just put a thin little layer around the inside edge, and it's just to pick it up so it when you flip it over to the other side, it sort of frames it and yeah, puts a little frame around it. Because remember, when you're working on the back of something, whatever you put down first, you're going to see. And so it's important to sort of, you got to sort of think a little bit backwards when you're putting the things on that you want to decorate with. So, um, I've got a tube of gel medium matte here. I'm just looking at other things. I'm trying to show you, I think, the little ring that I put around it, but it was fairly light. So I've got some gel medium matte here, and I'm using that to stick down my bits and pieces. Now you could also use, what's that stuff? Mod Podge would probably do the same thing. I didn't have any Mod Podge, so this is why I chose the matte medium to put this down with. And I'm just going to put a light layer on that, and then I'm going to put my little fussy cut picture down first because I want to be able to see all of that. And it'll sort of just, it's a bit of a trial and error because I hadn't done any of this before, but it sticks down a little bit like glue, and then you can just layer then all your bits and pieces on top of it, and go over it again with some more matte medium just so it all sticks down well, and then you can just layer it up however you like. The matte medium does take a little bit to dry, especially if you've got quite a few layers on and that. But I mean, out in this heat at the moment, doesn't take long at all. So I'm just pulling off little bits and pieces, and yeah, flip it over if you need to and see where it's going to show up. and just press it all down well. Make sure that you get all any little air bubbles out and things like that. And then just like the Mod Podge, sort of go over it again with another layer of the matte medium, and yeah, just keep stacking your layers on. I think here I snipped off a little. Actually, the lace turned out really good in this, because when you're looking at now that it's finished, it sort of it gave it depth, which turned out quite interesting, which I'll show you at the end. And yeah, so just experiment what you'd like to put in it. Um, so for this project, I just raided my scrap my scrap bin, and just found little bits and pieces out of there, and that this is the perfect project and to use up all your little bits of scrap and all those tiny little pictures that you think, oh, what am I going to put that on? And you can just use all that sort of stuff up on a project like this. Also, you could pull out your napkins, use that, your little die cuts, all sorts of little things like that would be perfect for this project. So I'm not being too fussy. I just didn't want anything going down in that channel around the lid, because I want to frame that up, and yeah, they're just the parts that are sort of avoided. I also got a piece of this tissue paper and put that down, but I had a little bit of trouble with that, but you wouldn't think I would, but um it did, I mean, it turned out, but I ended up taking some of that off because I think the layers were getting a bit too, bit, not thick, but I don't know. I might have put a bit too much of the matte medium on, and it sort of started to tear and stuff like that. So just take it easy on some bits, and just, it doesn't matter. It'll turn out how it wants to turn out, just like my one did. So yeah, it's looking pretty good here. Okay, I can get quite impatient, so you might want to let yours dry for a little bit, which I didn't. And because I was trying to do this project in between both my denture clinic appointments, because I had one in the morning, one in the afternoon when I had to pick it up. So I'm just using a acrylic paint here, and I'm putting that all over the back. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm just looking at one here. Yeah, and go around in the rim, give it a good coat in the rim, just keep checking the front and see if it's covering properly. You may need to give that a couple of coats if you want it, fully coloured in. Mine had streaks in it, but I didn't care about that. I think I didn't, like I said, I wasn't going after that perfectionist look. So I just coated the back. And yes, like I said, you could let that dry, but I didn't. Oh, this was just one of those projects where you just go and you just make it. This is a 2.5-inch punch. It's a fairly big circle punch here. I dug that out, and I'm going to punch out a piece of paper here because I want to put that on the back. This is going to be my little journaling spot for the back. And then I thought, oh, that circle's not big enough. So I scratched around for a bit more paper, and I ended up sticking it on some tea-dyed paper. Yeah, I didn't know what I was going to do there. Oh, I ended up getting some nail polish from Aldi, and it's really good. They had all sorts of colours, and it dries really quickly. And I went back today and got some more colours, because my husband uses nail polish on his RC cars. So he's got black and white, and I ended up getting him blue, a couple of different colours of blue, some more black and white, and yeah, I think I got a couple of colours for myself too. But yeah, he's already used it on his RC car. He said it was great. So yeah, Aldi's got that at the moment, if you're interested. I think they're $2 a bottle. Anyway, I ended up gluing this onto some tea-dyed paper, and then I just tore an edge around it because I want to put it on the back here. Like I said, for just a little journaling spot. So I think that's some of my recent tea-dyed paper. Yeah, the pattern that I just recently did. I'd like to do a little bit more before it gets cool. So I'm just going to find some glue here and put that on. Hope you're all having a happy day. I'm happy now I've got my teeth back. Oh, it's so weird not having them in. It was only a day. So I'm just gluing this down, just pressing it all on. I ended up getting paint all over it. I'm a messy painter. Oh gosh, I'm a messy painter. I got paint all over myself, everywhere. I had to clean myself up before I went back to get my teeth. Oh gosh. So, oh yeah, and I got a little bit distressed ink as well. And because I'm impatient, I put it all on the white paint and I got paint on my my sponge as well. But that'll wash out. I'm not worried about that. So I'm just looking at it here thinking, what else can I do now? Now I'm all messy. It's one of those sessions where you just, have all those little brain fart moments and and you just get in there and have a play. So I ended up getting my crocodile and took a little bit to get it in, but it went in and put a hole in it. Then I used some 5mm eyelets here. Thought, oh, I'll pop an eyelet in, it'll look finished off then, and it did. It made it look a lot better. So I'm just going to set that with the crocodile. And that worked well. I think they were the eyelets I got from BabyCraft that I just used in my paper bead video. And I've just got a piece of, this is a piece of like jute string, and it had got a gold fleck through it. I think you'll probably see it in an upcoming Opshop crafter haul. It was something I found at the Opshop. And I just put that in through the eyelet and tied that off. Nothing hard here. It's all just put on it whatever you've got type project and make it your own. And that's pretty much the first one done. So I sort of just had to let that dry now, and I really like how it turned out. You can have it on a junk journal dangle. It could be part of a bookmark. It could be, you could set it on the front of your junk journal. I don't know. I just thought it was a fun little project to do. And then I've got that little journaling spot on the back too. So while I had all my bits and pieces out and I had a little bit of time, I decided to make another one. And this one here, I'm putting gold around the edge. And I'm going to put gold all in the moat around the edge of the lid here. And I wanted that gold. It'll sort of frame it off. Because remember what I said, what you put down first is what you will see on the right side. So I'm just putting a nice little layer of that gold paint. And it's just an acrylic paint. And, if you do get it on, past that mode, you can wipe it off quite easily. So just, yeah, having a play with it. Still having a play with it. You can see all the paint on my hands. I just don't know how I get it all over me. I don't know. Right, and I think I'm washing this out because I'm going to put on some of the matte medium now. And I've got that, isn't that moth cute? It's a die cut that I've got, and I found it in my paper stash in my bits and pieces of papers. And I thought, oh, that could look pretty on here. So I'm just putting a decent coat of the matte medium down. And like I said, you could put the Mod Podge on. I think that would work exactly the same. And then I'm going to put my moth down. Now I'm making sure I put the die cut down so you see the back of the die cut, if that makes sense. And then I'm just trimming the moth so it's not totally all on the well, it wouldn't fit on there anyway, so I'm sort of just putting 3/4 of the moth on. But what I meant was that what the back of the lid here is the back of the die, so that when you flip it over, you see the front of the die. Because when you cut a piece of card with a die, there is a front and a back. So I wanted to sort of still maintain that, because you can see the depth of when you go when you go in the when you look through the lid, you can see that depth. So the backing here, I'm just using some of that tissue paper. I think it's from Witchcraft You Do. Came in some packaging that I got when I put an order in, and it's pretty cool. So I just clipped it off so it didn't, it sort of went around that inner circle so that the moat, it didn't go down into that moat, you know, the rim of the lid, I should say that more than the moat. It's not a castle. Um, yeah. So just clip it off so it just goes to the edge of that inner ring. I think I went back and put a little bit of gold on it to finish it off on little bits and pieces of places where I could sort of see through it. So you can keep flipping it over to the front and see where you want to cover. And if you don't like that streaky look, like I said, you could go back and give it a second layer. I would actually, if you want to give it that second layer, I would wait till it dries, because it was just lifting it back up here. It's like, you know, you can't put a second layer on something that's already got the first layer that's still wet. So, but it's okay. I think I touched it up later when it was dry. But I was just so impatient. I just wanted it done. So now it's just a matter of letting it dry. This is where you have to be patient. See, when I flip it over, so you can see that matte medium, because there's thickness in that die cut, it sort of put the matte medium pooled in those little spaces. So you have to let that dry, and I reckon it'll take at least 24 hours for it to all go out of it. Like I let it dry for the afternoon and I could still just see it. So yeah, let it dry. Okay, I am actually talking on camera now. I'm sorry about the voiceover in the first part of the video, but today I have had to have my dentures all realigned, and I had to give them up for a day to have them all fixed up properly, and they are so comfortable now. So I'm back on camera and able to talk properly, and I've had this one out drying outside and it's almost dry. You can still see just a little bit in here with the, you know, that cloudy sort of look. That will continue to dry overnight and go clear. So this was a fun little project. That was this one, that's this one. This one I did off camera. Yeah, I did it off this napkin, and I put some bronze around in that one. And then that's the one I did on camera with a little eyelet in it. And I thought they were fun. Look, this pack of little takeaway containers, I think they were I think they were a couple of bucks. I think they were $2 or $3. And it wasn't my original idea. I actually seen someone doing it on the internet, but what they were doing, they were using bigger lids, and then they were decorating the inside like this, but then once it was finished, they were using it for a little soap dish, of all things. And they were putting napkin on this and then a piece of napkin on the soap, so they matched, and giving them away as little gifts. So that was my inspiration for doing something like this. Now you could mount something like this on the front of a junk journal as your little feature thing with other things around it. I think that would look really cool. You know, just depending on what your junk journal looks like. Or you could use it as just something that you could hang off your junk journal. And you could look for even smaller lids too. You can find smaller lids and larger lids. So that was just a fun little thing to do. I liked the collage one. Once this is dried, it looks really pretty. You can sort of see in there, and you can see the lace, and it's got a little bit of depth in it, which I like. And you could also stick some words on the outside, or you could totally decorate the outside as well, and yeah, put a word on it, or a little ticket or a number or some sort of ephemera like that you could put on it. And yeah, this one here I painted it white at the back because the napkin was quite clear once you stuck it on, and then the white sort of brought it up more at the back. Yeah, and I like this one with the moth on it. And that was just a die cut that I had sitting around in my paper scraps. And I feel like I'm lisping a little bit. I'm going to have to get used to the different shape of my dentures. They're just a tad thicker inside, and yeah, but that won't take long. Yeah, all right. I hope you've enjoyed looking at them today, and it's given you some inspiration how you could recycle things as well. You know, I mean, I bought these brand new, but you could certainly recycle your packaging and do fun little things like that with it that you could put on your junk journals and all that sort of thing. All right, so if you're new here, I'd love it if you'd like, share and subscribe, and press that bell button to get notifications and all that sort of thing. And I will catch you next time for a new video, new make. Bye.